Welcome back to Wealthy Mentor Trading, guys. Today is November the 13th, 2022. And today I'm going to be discussing four stocks that I'm bullish on this week. Coming up, we have names like HD posting their earnings on Tuesday, along with Nvidia. Strong move this week, guys, on the semiconductor sector. They are reporting their earnings on Wednesday, along with Baba potentially hitting a bottom, also reporting their earnings on Thursday. And last but not least, one of my favorites, DWAC, DWAC, Donald Trump's backed Truth Social app that jumped over 60% this week. I'm going to be discussing that along with some targets going in for the week ahead. But please, guys, give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. We do release these videos every Sunday to get you guys prepped. We also have our 1 month $49 winter promo at Wealthy Mentor Trading. That's right, you get to trade on Discord with me and a bunch of other traders, pretty much day trading, options trading, swing trading, along with market prep every morning to get you ready and give you those targets on what you need to look forward to. The link is in the description, and that is our winter promo on Discord at Wealthy Mentor Trading. With that being said, as you guys can see on the main screen, I do have the SPX chart, the S&P 500, and boy, did we get a bullish move, right? Right here, guys, we were down in the dumpsters at that 37.50 week. After the week prior, we were pretty bullish, testing that $3,900 mark. Unfortunately, we got that rejection, and that dropped us down to 37.50. And I was looking for a bearish move lower. However, the bulls did step in at that 37.50 mark, pushing us for a close above 3,900, which to me was crazy bullish. And you might be asking, well, how did that happen? Well, like I said, the markets are looking at two things right now, and that is the inflation and the overall economy outlook, right? The inflation is what's been running the market all year, and it came down under that 8% mark, down to that 7.7 mark. And yes, we are still crazy inflated right now. However, anything that is heading lower on inflation is going to be bullish for the markets, and they reacted to that, right? We had an insane week in the semiconductor sector, pumping over 10% in one day. Tech sector finally saw some life. They were pumping over 8% in a day. The S&P 500 finished over 5%, which was one of those weeks that we haven't seen since the big drop during the pandemic and the recovery. So that was bullish for me. Overall, I've been asked a bunch of questions by our members. Has this been enough to contain a trend change? And the answer is no, right? This is the weekly chart here. As you guys can see, we are still in a downhill trajectory, right? And to me, what I'm looking at this week is a continued move higher above that 4,000 psychological mark, where we did end off closing at the week, right? This is a big green bullish candle closing at the very top with basically not a wick in sight. So that is bullish. I'm looking for a continued move above 4,000. I'm looking for a hit at that 4,050 area, which does test the downtrend right here. And that to me has been the biggest test this year, right? We hit it once here and got rejected. Another time here, we got rejected, and this could potentially be the third test and lead us somewhere into positive territory heading into the Christmas month, right? So definitely watch above 4,000. 4,050 is your main target. And if we don't hit that 4,000 mark and get above it, we do have clear support at 3,900. Obviously, we couldn't break it last week, so that turns into resistance. On the way down, it is support. So 3,900 is somewhere that I want to see still us closing above, right? We don't break above a 4,000, that's fine, but we got to stay above 3,900. If we break below 3,900, we are likely testing my targets at 3,800 once again, and that is that middle ground for me. And if we do break that, I am bearish once again, and I'm looking for lower targets. However, let's stay optimistic. Keep in mind, we got to get above 4,000 and stay above 3,900 on the weekly time frame. All right, guys, exciting week ahead. That's the S&P 500. First name that I'm going to be looking at in terms of earnings, that is HD. HD had a pretty significant week, as you guys can see here, bouncing from that pretty much that trend line right here, the 9 EMA around that 293 area, pumping all the way to 318. As I said, we do have earnings this week. Uh, HD is the largest home improvement retailer in terms of revenue, which will report on Tuesday. Earnings are estimating for the period to be up from $4.06 at the beginning of this quarter. Sales for Q3 are expected to be up 3% at 37.5 billion. I'm looking for a move above 318 as a bull and a bear below 293.5, right? So again, guys, closing at the very top on Friday at that 318 mark, slight rejection, some profit taking. I'm looking for a break above 318 on an earnings beat for targets of 333 and 340, right? 333 is the cluster right here before the breakout, and 340 is the closing candle right here back on May 2021. So that holds significant value. It was also a rejection point earlier on in the year, in March, where we got rejected here, and that confirmed the downhill, right? We also pushed up once again, got a rejection at 333. So as you guys can see, these two levels are very important for me. I'm looking for that break above 318 on a bull move, right, on earnings. Now, this is a no trade zone between 318 and 293. So if you are a bear, you're definitely looking at that 293 breakout area that we had last week. If that does break on bearish earnings, we're looking at a downhill drop to that 264.5 area, where we have multiple touches on the weekly time frame this year, right? Along with past history back on 2020, where we did consolidate basically from August 2020 and finally broke out in March 2021. So it was a long time consolidation before we finally broke higher. Again, guys, that 264.5 is your best friend if you are a bear shorting at that 293.5. As you guys know, we do trade Home Depot on our daily watch list at Wealthy Mentor Trading. So I will be apprising students at Wealthy Mentor Trading on our Discord channel with our entries and exits in real time as I see fit heading into earnings, right? So that is HD. Next name that did have a big bull move, and that's part of the semiconductor sector, was Nvidia. NVDA is the ticker, and you guys know I am holding some long-term positions on Nvidia. I got in at that 120 area, and I am still holding on a swing trade. I did apprise the students at Wealthy Mentor Trading of what I'm doing, right? My first take profit was that 164 area, but guys, you know what? I still am holding my positions on Nvidia because I am bullish, right? I'm looking for a bull move above that 164 and a bear move below that 140 area. Now, analysts at Oppenheimer recently reduced their estimates on Nvidia ahead of the earnings report, which is on Wednesday. They're dropping their price targets to 225. And if you guys are looking at it right now, we're at 164. We have a long way to run up to 225. So that to me screams bullish, along with NVIDIA being one of the industry leaders at what they do, right? Their tech department's awesome. Their innovation is amazing. Um, they're pretty much their circuit boards and their software is all included in the new cars coming out, and it's one of the industry leaders, right? Um, I know it went lower based on the whole shortage and whatnot, but a stock like this, a name like this, whether it's in a bull market or in a bear market, is gonna stay afloat and move higher just because it's such a great name and one of the industry leaders, right? So forget all that. I'm a technical analyst. I'm watching that 164 line for a break up to 178 and 192.5 as my two main targets, right? Now, that 178 is important for me because we dropped down here and held that support on the way up. It is resistance. So first take profit target 178. We also have 192.5 where we've had multiple rejections on the weekly time frame, and that led to the demise, right? Down to that $108 level. Once again, here we are on earnings, about to test that area once again. So I am bullish above 164 for these two take profit targets. Now, to the downside, let's just say we get a rejection at 164 and earnings aren't so great. What am I looking at? It's very easy, guys. I have that 140 line as clear support. It's also supported by the 9 EMA where we did close above it. That is bullish. Now, if we head down to 140, I'm still in a hold mode, right? If we break 140, we also breaking clear support, right? Where we had consolidation years past, which now turns to support, resistance rack here, now turns to support. 140 and a break, 127, 116, and 109 are my down targets to the downside. Now, do I envision that happening anytime soon? Probably not. On an earning miss, we'll probably head down to 140 and hold. But overall, with the whole market getting above 3,900, uh, pretty much testing 4,000, that is bullish to me. And unless there's some sort of catastrophe on the S&P 500, I do see Nvidia getting above that 164. All right, so keep your eyes on Nvidia, and also keep your eyes on AMD, as they do like to run side by side, as they are one of the industry leaders in the semiconductor sector. All right, one other big name. Sorry, two. I got two names. BABA being one of the two, right? BABA is the ticker. And here we are on BABA on the weekly. I am going to shift to over here to the monthly just because we've had such a downhill trajectory and we are testing at all-time lows, right? We had BABA pretty much $319 stock dropping down to all-time lows at $57. Now, this is the monthly chart, so I am going to try to show you where we are testing right here. Okay, so pretty much all-time lows was that $57 mark. Now, BABA does report their Q3 earnings on Thursday as well. Analysts are expecting that revenue for the period fall nearly 7% to 29.3 billion. And again, I'm a bull above 86.5, a bear below 57. Now, they did have their singles day. I believe it was from November the 1st to the 11th. It's their, I guess you can say, their Black Friday, their end of the year push. And they did well, but not as well as years past. And the chart itself is bearish. It's a downhill trajectory. We also have the 9 EMA pointing lower. So all this points to me getting above that 86.5 as a bullish entry. I would also be cautious that we get above this 9 EMA, which is around that $92 area. But if we do see volume above 86.5, I do have targets of 111, 126 as my bullish targets. Now we are on the monthly chart, and as you guys can see on the RSI, we're at the very bottom, not oversold yet, but we're at that $31 area, 31 mark area, which is near oversold conditions on the monthly time frame. So it's definitely an opportunity that has a high reward and a lower risk. And a lower risk for me would be that all-time low at $57, right? Now, if you are a bear and if you are one of those types that wants to short below all-time lows, I do have that psychological target of $50, right? And I am going to keep keeping it safe on BABA as we are in a downhill trajectory. So guys, if you are trading, keep your stop losses tight on this one. If we break below $57, if you're a bull, you don't want to be caught up in the downtrend. If you're a bull on earnings, look for a move higher, progressing into earnings at that 86.5 letter. $86.5 area, which would indicate to you that there is some buying pressure building up, right? Now, we do trade BABA at Wealthy Mentor Trading, so I will be apprising students in real time with my targets. So be sure to check us out. The link is in the description. Last name, and one of the biggest ones, and I did trade this, as you guys do know that I do post these earnings on our Instagram page at Wealthy Mentor Trading or the Wealthy Mentor. You type that in, will pop up. It was one of our trades, and I did instruct students on this one, right? It gained 60%. And this was basically rumors that Trump would be running for 2024 president, right? It was something that this stock usually jumps on, right? It's so fundamental news based that stuff like this, it's going to move on, right? DWAC is the Truth Social app. It's Donald Trump's backed. It's one of those things where when he got banned on Twitter, it's something that he created. It gained a huge hype, as you guys know, that it went to 175 bucks, and now it's been the dumpster at that $15 area until we got that news that Donald Trump might be running, right? So that pumped 60%. We got to a top around 30 bucks where we hit some strong consolidation area of resistance. Now, I am looking for a move above 34 bucks, and that is the top of this area right here where we've consolidated from. Now, many might say we could long at 30, but $34 is a more conservative mode for me. So I'm a bull above $34, and I'm a bear below that $20 area. Now, $20 is an area where it is below the 9 EMA on a weekly, and it's also important to a point where we haven't crossed the 9 EMA in such a long time since March 2022, and this was the first move breaking above it and closing above it. And you guys know I love that candle body close above big areas of resistance, right? So getting above $20 resistance, closing above there. Now, this is sort of an indecision candle closing in pretty much in the middle. We did move up after hours on Friday to 26.5, so that is exciting. I'm a bear below 20 bucks. It breaks clear support and also breaks the EMA. We're likely going to test $15. Now, Trump did say that he did have an announcement on Tuesday, which is November the 15th. People are thinking that he's going to be running for president. And you know what? It pumped 60% last week. It could also pump 60% coming into the announcement on Tuesday on November the 15th. So I wanted to bring it to your attention. I'm a bull above $34. I do have targets of 46.5 and $54. Obviously, 46.5 is an area we've got multiple rejections and a down move after that, right? So that's one area that has significant resistance that we can take profit target at. And the top of this area right here, where we got a rejection and consolidated for a few weeks and then dropped lower. So two areas that I'm watching for my students at Wealthy Mentor Trading are 46.5 and 54 bucks. And as I did mention, I am a bear below that $20 level. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and if you're interested in trading with us, the link is in the description to join our Wealthy Mentor Trading on Discord channel. Thank you so much. See you guys next week.